And gentlemen, welcome back to the number one podcast in the Halo jumping community. We have Bald Podcast episode 10. It's the first 10 episode podcast in jumping. I'm just saying, Hunter, I'm just saying.
I know I told you how many
We've
there are,
officially...
and I can't remember, and I can't even remember what I told you. How many podcasts I've done?
I think it was 8 or 9. I looked at it, but there's like 9 Ninja podcasts. Yeah.
Not that there's a lot of choice, you know. There's this, there's mine, and then there's like 3 abs podcasts out there, and that's about it. So Halo Jumping needs more podcasts, is what we're trying to say.
No, I kind of like it this way. Like low competition, you get just kind of chill, not have to, I can kind of just do these whenever I want. It's pretty nice. And you know what? I learned, yesterday in the Discord, is I love talking. I love talking just to talk, and this is my way of doing it, It's great.
Yeah.
In honor of 10 episodes of a Bald Podcast, I'm actually doing a Bald Podcast first, and I'm going to be going completely uncensored, full opinions in this episode.
Yes, definitely not following the norm.
I hold back sometimes. Because there are people that scare me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Swan's
gone now.
No, I really do. Me and Swan share very similar opinions, so it's never really an issue with Swan.
Nah.
I actually talked to Swan the other day. He wants to start abs back up soon.
I messaged Swan off the back of one of these podcasts, so I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, to ask him why there's no more Swan in my life. And I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm sure he'll put something out there.
He's a busy motherfucker.
Yeah. But, so we are here for Bald Podcast number 10, the landmark 10th one. And we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to start by talking about Tournament 16.
Yeah, Halo Sasuke 16. It got uploaded, a week ago? It's doing very well. It's already hit, I think it's just below 300 views at the minute. It was a very successful premiere, I'd say, for the most part. I told Hunter it was like the first time I saw 25 people in a live chat.
And I was like, really?
Was during this, premiere, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, and I think we should just, get the elephant in the room, out of the way. Hunter, he had a run. He failed stage 1. However, I used the wrong attempt.
The first,
it was the wrong one. He didn't fail the jumping spider. He failed the triple hole in the wall. Just to get it out of the way. I'll take ownership of my actions. I did it on purpose. After all these years of failing his jumping spider, I thought it'd be funny. No, obviously it was a accident, but me and Hunter, I think we've already talked about it.
So I want to go officially on record, Irish. I tried to bribe him yesterday with his little spreadsheet of all the finishing results. I want it to go officially on record as of this video. I finished in 14th place. There were 3 people that failed stage 1 that did better than me. And I know who they are. And I failed the hole in the wall. Not the spider.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, guys. No, that was honestly the only chumpy moment of the premiere.
Well, we've got a list of stuff here. So Chumpy's got some sort of not like questions, but like bullet points of like how we're going to sort of go through this tournament. Yeah. So one of them was least favorite part, And I was going to mention it at that point, but I suppose we're getting it out of the way now.
I wanted to get the elephant out of a room.
I
I feel like I've been kind of dreading owning up to this, this failure for how
I have
long.
to be honest to the viewers. I unfortunately missed probably about half of this premiere. I didn't see most of the first 40 runs on stage one because I was in the middle of a race. But lo and behold, the gods were kind because we did 3 races last Friday, I think it was, and
Yeah.
between the first and the second one finishing, my run
Your
was
run
happening,
popped up.
so I was able to see it and was then really confused.
I got a DM from Hunter, and he was like, "What the fuck happened to
What's going on?
the editing? What's going on?"
But then I had to
like,
forget about all that because
"Oh,
second race. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't second. It was third race. So I had to forget about all that, and third race was on. And then after the third race, we hopped into the premiere, and I watched it from like the last 10 runs of stage one onwards.
And you know what? Like that. Obviously, it was an editing mistake, but the big mistake that I made, which I had done a really good job with for the other, let's say, give or take 40 runs in the tournament, was I wrote down the actual damn result as it happened for everyone except for like Hunter and a few others. I don't really remember who, but you saw the notes, Hunter, because I sent them to you.
Yeah.
But I just that was my idiot move, and we've learned a lesson. We've learned a lesson.
I've just
And
noticed.
you know what?
I've just noticed on the
It's
notes you
been
sent me, you've put Hunter up for interpretation.
yeah. I thought that'd be funny. But um, what was I gonna say? That was really, for being away as long as I had. That was like the only real mistake.
Yeah, I was
had.
gonna say that.
Which I think is I think I can give myself a little bit of a pass.
I think, yeah, this was the biggest. This was the only big issue in the whole video or the whole premiere. Obviously, like this is not taking into account like if people wanted to talk about the tiniest little things, like if it was like a stumble on the commentary or like a muffle or and any obscure, that's no. I was going to say that's going to happen on any video. If you want to, just as a comparison, like my episode that I put up 2 weeks ago, I can think of at least 3 audio gaffes or commentary gaffes that I made in that episode, and I'm supposed to be like the number one for commentary. So literally, there isn't a single tournament out there or a single episode out there that doesn't have a commentary gaff of some kind. So really, the only.
And I will say, I feel like the only people who really get it are the people who have straight up commentated for like an hour and a half at a time.
Yeah,
it's freaking hard.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
It's freaking hard to hold up that energy.
I do it in bits.
It's hard to hold up that energy for however long, an hour and a half, and you get lost in your own words sometimes.
Yeah,
like that just happens. I've realized, but no, this tournament I did for the most part all in one take. The only things that weren't were like all the runs I commentated whenever I could be loud and obnoxious and that stuff. And the like obstacle overviews and clear overviews and stuff were done separately. But other than that, everything was done at once. So obviously, you're gonna have the occasional f ups,
Yeah.
I overall thought that I've had a lot worse mistakes.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Literally the gaff with my run was the only like major mistake in the whole video.
Mm-hmm. And in general, like the feedback and stuff I got, I thought was like really, really freaking positive compared to like the average tournament. Like, obviously, I got positive feedback for 15. Everybody's gonna have, like, a hard on when somebody wins a course. I know how that is. But, like, I'm not here, like, because obviously people are gonna find a tournament a lot better if somebody wins it, and if somebody doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you do the ROG rankings, and fucking, like, what's gonna be on there? Like, 12, 13. I think Smokey won in.
People always rate total victory tournaments as the best ones usually historically.
Yeah.
I mean, Smokey considers
Except
his
for-
tournament 7 his best of all time, even though I think it's not. But
Mhm.
as the host and as it being his course. And to be fair, if I didn't pick 7, there's every chance I could have picked another tournament where there was a total victory. So
Mhm.
yeah, and yeah, that's the thing when coming into this tournament, and you have to take
Mhm.
many things into account. Obviously the gap, the fact that it's the biggest gap obviously in the course's history, the
Right.
first tournament on a new game, and the fact that it's coming off of a previous tournament where there was a total victory, is a lot to live up to, and
Of
I
course.
think it did a very good job.
I said this to Irish in a party one day. I was like, it may be like a top 5 tournament results wise, but I think in all other categories, I think it kind of, blew everything I had before kind of out the fucking water. You
Well,
know,
what's the other aspects you could think of? So you could look at results, editing,
I think
commentary.
results, editing, commentary, I guess generally speaking, hosting behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think that as far as hosting behind the scenes, this has been the most professional that I've been with hosting. You know, I think that's a fair claim to
So
make.
you think so on that
Um,
on that basis, you'd say
I think that on the basis of attendance, it's been the best. I have said to a couple of people that I usually have to get around 15 randos to fill up a tournament, and I only had to get 9 for this
we
one.
did mention this, I think, in the previous podcast. Like, what was it, like 3 or 4 weeks ago? That I think that was a section where we talked about like the variety of competitors
Hmm.
we thought you were going to get. Which I think I've
Right.
got the list. Obviously, we'll go through it. I'm sure in more detail shortly. But
Yeah.
um, when we do, I imagine looking at some of these names of people that have they're either making their first appearance or they're one of the so-called newer faces because maybe they came in at the very end of Halo 5. There's a
Right.
lot of names on here. There's a lot of names on this list. The
Yeah, no,
so-called new crew.
absolutely. And you know what? People are mixed on it. I love it. I love that the new people are showing up, and honestly, like if you see the results of a tournament, kicking the asses of the
Well,
veterans.
we'll get into we're going to get into that. I think I don't know if we want to start going through some of these points that we'd written
We
down.
can go through
Or,
some of the results.
yeah,
We can start talk. I feel like we've talked about like the process of getting through the tournament enough.
yeah.
Like
So we've already covered two.
I'm really happy with how everything went.
Yeah,
No shit, Sherlock.
mm.
If you haven't watched it, please
Yeah.
fucking do.
Check it out.
I worked really hard. I worked like you gotta understand. I give like Hunter so much shit for like being behind schedule and shit. It would be so easy to do. Like it's doing this stuff's like it's time consuming. It's hard to do.
It's certainly, I wouldn't call it my least favorite part of the whole process of being a tournament host, but it does take a long time.
Yeah, no, I like the process of editing. It's really like it's a freaking process,
Mm.
and I feel like a lot of that gets kind of like swept under the rug, which is why I feel like a lot of these hosts like really want to have a good turnout for premieres and stuff because like they worked really hard.
That's why
Everybody
will
works
always.
really hard to do this
That's
stuff.
why I always feel for the example I always come back to or use an example is when Swan had his last ever episode of Jump, which was
I
the last
know
episode that ever
that one let
premiered
me down a bit.
before he canned it. I don't know, obviously,
Yeah.
how much work he put into it, but he would have, like any other host, had to put in a lot of work for it. So to get the turnout that he got, I can understand why he was extremely disappointed, because if Chumpy had got that level of turnout in this premiere, he would have been extremely disappointed for the amount of work he put into
If
it.
I remember the turnout for Swan's episode, if I got that for 16, 17 would not be happening. I would not have done it. Like, that's as realistic as it gets.
Yeah.
I I'm not saying I
The irony
do
would have been
prefer.
if you had got that level of turnout and Swan was one of the 7 people that showed up. That would have been the
Yeah.
irony there.
I'm not saying that I only do this stuff because I want the,
The
high
views.
praise
He
and
wants
the,
the
the
YouTube
jump
money.
clout. Yeah, but like, you want people to show up and support you and
Appreciation.
stuff like
That's the
this.
key word here.
Yes. That is like necessary.
It's not that hard work. It's not that hard work demands appreciation. It's more so hard work deserves appreciation.
Cuz like I if if it flopped like in the premiere and stuff, I don't know what I would have done, because like obviously I can be excited about a tournament. The difficult part of hosting is getting other people excited for the tournament, and there's some level that because I put a lot of like hype messages and shit in the Discord.
Oh yes.
That's no
For
lie.
10 months.
It was a bit ridiculous. But obviously that's part of it, wanting to get people to show up. But I don't know. I was really happy with how everything turned out.
Yeah. So do you want to start going through these points and then we'll talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about some. You want to do a quick little like overview of some of the results that happened?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I thought you meant. I thought I still got your questions in front of me of what you were going to ask.
You want to look at the sets before all the questions?
Yeah. Well, I feel like the results will probably get covered in these questions, I suppose.
True. Just as a quick
You can give an overview
paragraph
quickly, yeah.
description of everything. So
Spoilers, by the way. We told you to, if you haven't
spoilers
watched
from-
it, go watch it and then come back. Otherwise, spoilers coming up here.
Alright, so in this tournament, there were 10 clears, and I'd say about half of them were not veterans, and half of them were, because who did we have clear? We had Matt, obviously, grand champion
Petrillo.
clear, Petrillo, a
Joey.
shock failure from Cyrus,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had Joey,
Fireball.
Fireball, and then I think the rest of them were all like either new to stage 1 or never beat new to stage 2 or never beat stage 2. Yeah.
We had Jake.
Because Jake
Halo,
didn't beat
Halo fan.
Halo fan,
Disappoint. MMO.
Eternal Flame,
yeah.
and MMO.
That's our 10.
So it was about half on half on the newer guys.
You had a real split there. You've got like
Yeah.
I was about to, I'm trying to think if it's 3 or 4. Yeah, you probably got 4 names there that are like big names across all of Halo Sasuke. I suppose if you include Fireball as a big name, I'm not entirely sure how much success he's had across your entire course.
Oh yeah, he was an all-star in Halo 5.
And then if you include Ump in that as well, who's obviously not competed in many Halo Sasuke's, but is obviously a huge Halo jumping name.
Oh yeah, no, he's a huge name, and he does have the stat of being chronologically by results the first Halo Sasuke clear ever, but it doesn't really compete too much. It was a very wide range of clears. I think that's the best way to describe it. A lot of new guys, and I wouldn't say the veterans completely died. Completely.
No.
Being the key word, but There were a lot of, shocking fails, like Cyrus, Smokey, British boy,
Yes, Drove.
um, other British boy who hosts a course.
Irish,
Dude,
Flame.
dude, you think that, the Halo Sasuke 16 Stage 1 was the most patriotic Stage 1 of all time?
Was
Because
it?
of how many
I
British people it took
I was
out?
gonna say, was it all Americans apart from Jake?
I think so, apart from Jake.
Jake has stepped up for the
I'm,
Brits, and we haven't really.
Jake was the top
He
Brit.
hasn't really had an opportunity to beat Brit, I think, on any course.
I don't think so either. It's so funny. Oh man. I mean, good for him though. Obviously, I think it's been a long time. He's failed a lot of my stage two,
Yeah, so
like
we
so many
we had the
times.
split obviously of the five like big names, and then on the flip side of that, you could throw Jake into the big side names, so it's like 6 and 4. But I think like I don't know how many stage twos he's had, but he's obviously never got past stage two
Um,
before this
he's
tournament.
been there quite a bit.
Okay, maybe you could throw him
Cause
in
he
the
had his
big.
first clear in like 11.
Yeah,
So and it's 16. I think he's
was
had
it?
5 clears
It's
and no,
interesting
because
actually.
I think he hasn't failed since he cleared last.
It's interesting thinking about it that I still look at Jake as like one of the new guys, even though he's been here for like 2 years. It's probably racked up like 20 at least 20 appearances across like all of the different courses. Um,
I mean, he's cleared more than you in the past 5 tournaments. I'm just
ouch,
saying. I don't want to be that guy, but he has.
ouch.
As far as stage two results go, we had, what's the word? A nail biting, close finish for really both of the first two runs. Because, Halo fan, he timed out by literally 0.02 seconds.
Hmm.
That's ridiculous.
That's painful.
That it is because if there's anybody that really wanted to beat that stage two, out of the 10 people there, I think the person who was most motivated to do it was Halo fan
Hmm.
to some extent, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But let's see. We had Jake clear by 0.2 seconds, so it kind of like the good ending to the Halo fan.
Yeah. But Halo fans, I was gonna say
Moment.
it was a very much kind of like because Halo fan made a mistake, slipped down on the last obstacle, and then almost clawed it back, but just came up short. Whereas
Oh
Jake
yeah,
had the time, and then almost screwed it up, and then just
by
cleared.
missing the bun. Yeah. No. Yeah, that would have been like so awkward as those runs being back to back.
Hmm.
Another stat that I think is kind of cool, but I just had a realization. Um, 3 of the stage 2 runs were all within the first 10 runs in the run order.
Well, Halo fan was number 1 actually as well.
And even funnier stat is 2 of the stage 3s were in the first 10 runs in the run order.
Yeah.
Because we had MMO direct clear, which obviously I haven't really been as watch all the videos as I wish I was in Infinite, but I've heard MMO's name before on like Irish's course. And I think Rog. No, he did Smokies, I think, right?
He's run Rogs and Smokies, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pretty caught up on the tournaments. So I had like expectations for him going into the tournament when I saw his name tag, but I didn't really know where the ceiling would be for his run. And I think it's safe to say that his ceiling's pretty damn high.
Yeah, this was his.
I think that's pretty fair.
I don't know for certain. I can't think off the top of my head if he actually had cleared a stage 1. I don't know if he cleared one on Irish's, but this was definitely his
I
like
don't know
his
either.
breakout success moment.
Oh, of course.
And I mean, honestly, I feel like in like the build up to this tournament happening, and then obviously what the 2 weeks it was going on, and then all the time since the tournament happened, I feel like I've chatted with MMO multiple times now in the parties, and he's just a very normal guy, big into Halo jumping.
He seems chill.
Not weird. Doesn't talk too much.
Not weird.
Yeah.
Very much not weird.
I mean, you're doing well when I don't want to throw anyone under the bus here, but you're doing well if A, Snars doesn't mute you for talking too much, and B, Snars actually says MMO's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I think he's right. I think he's great for jumping right now in where everything is. And I think that he's just kind of chill to talk to. Because he spends a lot of his time with the newer people. And coaches a lot of the newer people. God. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, he's always trying to help people,
I think that he's kind of started playing... I don't want to make comparisons, but he's kind of starting to play the Swantron Phase 4 role.
Yeah.
If you know
was that early Halo 5?
Because early Halo 5, it would be, Swan, he could hang out with us in the parties, you guys in the parties and stuff. I wasn't cool enough to talk to you guys. Loser. Atlantic champ. Running Atlantic Sasuke. Won.
Swan went through like a kind of like new guy phase, then phase 4 phase, then he became Abs Swan.
Yeah, but like he kind of is playing that role a bit, which is cool. It's cool to make those parallels.
As long as MMO doesn't become a
raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, I kind of see it a bit.
I think he's a very good jumper. Granted, he does put a lot of practice in. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. I know, obviously, some people think there's the kind of like, oh, you have to sweat every course now, practice-wise, which I don't. Well, there's one person amongst this list of clearers that proves that you don't have to sweat practice, to be successful. Fireball is the person I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
But MMO is kind of, look, he's in that early stage where, like, I think he was a Roblox guy, and now he's converted to Halo, and he's trying to get good at Halo by doing lots of courses and practicing a lot for all of them.
Yeah.
And it would just be interesting to see because everyone wants a good start to their career, Joey's kind of an exception where he had a horrific start to his career with all of his first appearances, and then just very, very quickly turned it around.
Right.
Joey's sort of the exception. Other people, they kind of want to have that success immediately, or they feel like they're not going to get to the top, if that makes sense. Swan, I think one of the reasons why Swan is held in such high regard is because he had a good start to his Halo jumping career. Obviously, Rob's course, he beat stage 1 on his first appearance on my course. He had a god run on Smokey's course on his second appearance. And I think, like, maybe if MMO could have one of them, and this tournament here could be that in a way. This was, I'm pretty sure, his first stage 3.
Again, he competed for the first time on this course and made the effing cliffhanger.
Yeah, and I don't know how many newcomers.
Where is the ceiling?
I don't know how many newcomers have gotten as far as that. Obviously, Smokey in tournament 1, and I don't know if there's. Yeah, in fact, you figured out this stat, didn't you, during the premiere? Is he only the 3rd newcomer to get to stage 3 on his debut?
It's Matt, Smokey, in tournament 1, if we want to count that, and him and Eternal.
Oh yes, an Eternal. Yeah.
Speaking of Eternal Flame.
Yeah, not to make this an MMO show. We've been speaking about MMO for 5 minutes. Eternal did great as well for a newcomer.
Absolutely. I mean, he was one obstacle behind, MMO. Like, he had a freaking great run. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't think that anybody in their right mind would be disappointed by a discount Mirror's Edge fail. Like, jeez. Like, that obstacle's freaking sweaty, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of the sweatier ones on the stage at Obstacle 3.
Hmm.
So, I think that, you know, the big thing that I've noticed with this tournament was just new guys.
Yeah.
They showed up a lot more than the veterans did.
I mean,
You know?
I'll talk about Flame first, and then I'll just talk about it in general. So Flame is sort of a little bit like MMO, but in the same way, it's different as well. Because MMO, I didn't really know a lot about him until like a month or so, maybe like last couple of months, where he suddenly started hopping parties a lot more. Seeing obviously how well he did in this tournament, um, and just talking with him a lot. Whereas Flame, I feel like I also hadn't spoken to Flame all that much, but I'd heard a lot of good things about his results. And so I felt like, coming into the next tournament, Flame could do well because he's done well on this course or this course. So I guess in a way, with Flame, I wasn't as surprised at his success as MMOs, but still impressed.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Like, for real impressed with the newcomers. That's my in conclusion.
Yeah, so
Honestly,
my general point I was going to make. So we said obviously 10 stage 1 clears, 5 stage 2 clears. We've discussed 3 of the stage 2 clears, and those 3 were all people that were making it to stage 3 for their first time. And not that we have many comparisons so far in early Halo Infinite, but I think there's this course, Flame's course, Irish's course, Rock's course, and then I guess an Abs, but Abs sort of doesn't really count. But we'll count it anyway. So you got 5 tournaments that have had an infinite tournament released in full. They all obviously upload in one go. Like obviously Smokey hasn't uploaded anything yet, but it'll be in episodes. So you got 5 tournaments there, and Abs didn't have a stage 3, and it only had 1 stage 2. Flames was a bit of a brutal fest of the first tournament with only 2 stage 1 clears. Rogs, I think, had 5 stage. It had a decent amount on stage 2, but it had 5 stage 3s. But the problem was they were all people that I think they'd all got to the final stage before.
I've heard.
I think they'd all got to the final stage, and I think Omp was the only one of the 5 that hadn't got to the final stage, like in the last 3 tournaments or something.
Yeah, I heard that.
Irish's, I don't know how many got to stage 3 on Irish's, but Irish's stage 1 clear count was amazing. His stage 2 clear count was good as well. I think Strafe and Rog got to stage 3 for their first time, but obviously they're 2 names that are very well known. But there was still 2 people that got to stage 3 for the first time in Irish's course. So really, there is no comparison to what Atlantic had here with his stage 3. Having 5 people on stage 3, of the tournaments have had that for a first Infinite tournament, but to have 3 of those 5 people having never got to stage 3 on any course ever before, apart from I think Jake maybe got to a stage 3 on Booker's course. That's pretty that's pretty neat, and it's pretty it makes the tournament stand out, in my opinion. I went into it thinking, my God, I would love if my first Infinite tournament had a stage 3 like this, with 3 first timers on stage 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a new game, era too. Like somebody won last time.
Yeah, exactly. And of the 3, they're 3 very different people as well. As we said, Jake's obviously been around for a few years. but not really had a stage 3 outside of Booker's course. You know, he's had lots of stage 2s on lots of different courses, but just hasn't been able to get over the hump. Eternal Flame, I don't know if I can't remember if Eternal Flame showed up right at the end of Halo 5 or not. Maybe he did. I'm not sure.
I think he did.
He might have. Okay, so he was like a late Halo 5 guy. And then you've got MMO, who's an Infinite guy. So even then, the 3 new faces you've got on stage 3 are all very different. I just think it really made the whole thing stand out, and I really liked it. I was really happy for all 3 of them.
Yeah, and I don't think it's any reason to push aside the other 2 runs on stage 3.
Especially since they were the best 2 runs of the tournament.
Yeah.
Fireball and Mr. Joey Davis.
Like, obviously they're a little bit more expected, but like, goddamn, like to get a deep stage 3 in a new game and a new course, pretty much, like completely redesigned. Like, you can't undersell that, which is why Joey is so good.
I think it would have been...
If we're being real.
It would have been a little less satisfying if, say, the peak had been Cliffhanger, as we've seen on other courses in the past, going into new games.
Of course.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a problem with a lot of courses, that they put a lot of their, like... I'm going to use the term heat... onto the cliffhanger on stage 3 and not like give the other obstacles much of a chance. But like, there was only one obstacle that took out more than one person on stage 3. Like, it was a pretty spread stage 3.
Yeah, so you had 2 on the 3rd obstacle, 1 on the 4th, 1 on the 5th, and 1 on the 6th. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep. And Joey got first place. He failed the Planet Bridge, which is obviously very, very tough. It's probably the hardest obstacle on the stage if we're thinking about it.
Got my prediction right on that one. Thank you, Joey.
I think a lot of people got that prediction right. I think a lot of people had Joey on Planet Bridge ending the tournament. But, yeah. Obviously, Fireball failed the first corner jump. I legitimately don't think he made it that far in practice. And, kind of ate it. But, you know, deep stage 3 is a deep stage 3, obviously. And that's pretty much all you gotta know.
Yeah.
I think we covered it pretty well. With that being said, I'm gonna shift to these questions now, because I kind of ignored them, and we instead covered the summary for way too long. This one's kind of a question for mainly you, Hunter. It's did Halo Sasuke 16 meet the anticipation it was given mainly by me?
Yeah. So obviously, yeah, you hyped up this tournament probably more so than maybe any host has ever hyped up their tournament in the history of jumping.
Damn straight.
For the obviously the hiatus that came with it.
Exactly.
I would say yeah. I would say yes. It definitely met the anticipation, because I thought, like I say, the tournament, in a way, the tournament went a little bit as I expected in terms of surprise successes, shock fails. I mean, if I really sat down and thought about it, I probably would have picked Joey as the first place guy. If I was being logical, but. Yeah, I just thought it was a fun, fast-paced tournament. Stage 1 zoomed by pretty quickly with that fast-paced stage 1. Yeah. Stage 2 wasn't even that long either, and actually stage 3 wasn't even that long. Every stage lasted not like super long, but a long enough time to enjoy it. Like, I think stage 3 was like less than like 15 minutes or something like that.
It was.
It was all long. All 3 stages we were on them long enough to appreciate, but it didn't drag, if that makes sense. You know, like some people have stage 2s.
You want to hear a little bit of a strategy that I used to make the time between stages a little bit more balanced?
Go on.
You want to hear this little trick I did? Whenever the run's finished, I looked at all of the runs and I said, all right, half of these profiles are going on stage 2.
Yeah.
And half of them are going on stage 1.
I think it was a good choice.
I feel like it was I had a realization that, like, one of my flaws with 15 was that a lot of stage 1 dragged because the last 10 runs took up about a quarter of stage 1.
They all have a profile.
Because I had to run through profiles, and then they cleared, and I had to do replays, and then they might have had a shock fail, so I have to go crazy about that. Like, it made it drag, so I thought that was the best way to limit the drag on stage 1.
Yeah, that's
like,
why...
I'm saying this because I'm, like, really happy that you made that, like, not realization. Like, you noticed it, because that's what I was going for, was making everything go by quick, but not too quick.
One of the concerns I always have when I'm editing an episode, or just editing, because nowadays, like, since I started making, and I'm sure Smokey does the same thing, since I started making, like, the full tournaments as one video, which obviously comes out later, like, using 20 or 21, I'm always thinking, like, oh shit, I hope this whole tournament doesn't run for, like, 4 hours. Like, I think it really says a lot. Smokey, when he started doing these, like, upload the tournament in full videos, he always had the idea in his head that, like, each episode, add them all together, and then make it into one tournament video. He wanted his target to be under 2 hours. It really says a lot that my target was under 4 hours, twice the length of his
well,
target.
yeah, you keep giving fluff pieces to these random guys on Halo Reach we don't even know. You know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's what I was coming on to. That was the point I was going to make with these profiles. Is that I definitely do the same thing, and I've done it for pretty much forever, to be honest, with trying to spread out profiles into stage 2 and sometimes into stage 3 as well. But you know, I know that sometimes the biggest problem I have is either giving too many profiles to different people, or the profiles are too long.
Yeah, that's happened before, where you've had a profile for like 2 minutes straight.
So that's where your profiles and just your general flow of the video, I think, was really good.
I kept each profile under 40 seconds.
And shout out, you went for the Smokey approach, because you very rarely see a long Smokey profile in one of his episodes. You get them occasionally, you know, if someone gets to a final stage, or like my Tournament 20 profile, for example. So he does it when he knows it needs to be done, but it's very rare. You know, they're usually like a minute tops for most people.
Because I realize, for me, I realized that the profiles need to meet the pace of the runs.
Yeah, it's really doesn't. It's not great when you have a profile that's longer than the actual run of the competitor.
Yeah, dude, the only fucking competitor that I'm guilty with that for is goddamn Joey Davis. Bro beat stage 1 in like 45, no, not even 40, like 40 seconds. And completely destroyed my goal. He made it equal. The run equal to the profile.
Shout out as well. I'll also give you a shout out to graphics for the profiles. It's been obviously a standout for, I think, a few of your tournaments now with profiles. I don't know if you've always done it. I'm not sure if you...
No. The GGYT guy used to do it for me. But no, everything, editing, music, this tournament. The only thing I didn't do, the logo in the top left corner? That was done by a Game Show, actually. He did that.
Oh, okay.
But everything else, all me, baby.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a first, really. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of a first.
Yeah. So to answer the first question, yes, I would say definitely met the expectations or the anticipations that you yourself put on the tournament.
Yeah.
I would go.
It's really hard to. Because it's really hard to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. About 75% of the hype up messages in the Discord were genuine excitement. You know, and obviously like a quarter of it was, oh yeah, I gotta hype up the tournament a bit, but because obviously, whenever the countdown was happening for the hosting to start, dude, ask Snoz when I started hosting how giddy I was with excitement to host. Like, I was like...
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how many people could probably top me for, like, the amount of time spent with you, like, in, like, the build-up to this tournament, or, like, you messaging me about it. But, like,
I had, like, a...
Sorry, I was going to say...
The people who I've really kept up with, like, informing about the tournament and stuff, was, like, you, Swan, and Sonic, I'd say. And maybe Irish a bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're someone that's, like, regularly messaging you or in a party speaking to you or something like that, then we would know, like, that it's genuine hype. If it was someone else that wasn't in that category, they might be thinking, like, oh my god, why is Trumpy, like, getting so, like... Why is he so high on hosting this tournament? Like, it's just a tournament, isn't it? And it's like, well, no, it's yes, it is a tournament, but it is actual genuine excitement that I knew was genuine.
I went to college for 6 months and I didn't host, man.
That's the thing. It's like I knew it was genuine excitement, and yeah, it was good that it obviously all paid off.
I was kind of worried about that. Like, that was my big, like, okay, I put way too much energy into promoting this shit for it to be bad. Next question. This one we both can answer. What were the most shocking aspects of a tournament? Not necessarily to run, but, like, stuff that, like, shocked you the most, like a certain thing.
Hey, see, I'm struggling to think about this one.
I'm going to answer this one. My answer is the triple hole in the wall.
Tougher than you thought.
That is my answer. Absolutely. That's not necessarily by the numbers, but the names that it took out.
Yeah.
It took out Cyrus. It took out Smokey. I guess it took out you.
But we'll never know. It took out...
Kinda.
It took out Flame. It took out Paddy.
Took out Flame, Patty, Dosis, who was like steamrolling the stage up until that point. Took out... Who else did it take out? Let me pull up my notes. I probably should have...
Did Stray fail the spider? In fact, I've got the results.
Stray failed it.
Yeah.
Stray failed it.
Irish.
I'm trying
say
to
Irish?
think of any... Irish failed it. And he got to stage 3 last time. Sonic failed it. He was a stage 2 competitor going into this tournament.
I feel like we've said every name there. Yeah.
Like, it did damage.
Yeah.
Like, damage.
But I think, like, the reason why I'm not considering it, or why I didn't think of saying it, is because I feel like that was gonna always be its job for me as a competitor coming into this tournament. I thought this was the one obstacle that, like, definitely has a chance of taking me out. Obviously the spider just, like, was a screw up that you guys actually saw, but the other attempt failing the triple hole in the wall. No, that was the one obstacle I thought this could take me out if I get it wrong. It's one of those obstacles where really you've just got like one shot at it, and you can't really save yourself on it. So if you screw it up, then you're kind of donezo.
Right.
But yeah, I suppose I would agree with you.
The shocking.
I suppose I would. The one thing I would agree with you then on the shocking side of it is the amount of big names that failed it.
Yeah, I always knew that obstacle would be a threat to competitors, but I didn't think it would play the role that it did. You know? I remember when we did predictions and we were like, yeah, about 15 will clear.
Yeah.
We completely undersold what that obstacle would do on the course.
If I had to answer this question or give an answer to this one, I would go... I think, actually, I think I would go with the fact that there weren't more clears, actually. I think 10 was a good number, but I think I actually predicted, like, way more clears.
Me too.
We've already discussed the least favorite part of the video, so we won't cover that again. So all I will say from my experience of failing the hole in the wall is that coming out of the fail, I was extremely disappointed. I've had, I think, 3 stage 1 fails so far in Infinite. This course, Flames course, and Abs. And this was the one out of the 3 so far where I walked away hugely frustrated. And I failed the fucking first obstacle on Abs, so that shows how frustrated I was at this fail. Just because I knew I had that stage 1 down. And I think that that matches up to something I said in the predictions podcast. I think I said this stage 1 was beatable for any competitor of any skill level. They could come in here, never have seen the map before, practice for 10 or 15 minutes, and could still clear. But at the same time, anyone could also fail this stage 1. And I think that was shown by the big names that you've just said that didn't clear stage 1.
Right.
So the shocking aspect, I would say, is the fact that there weren't more clears, even though there was still a decent amount. I think really, as you said earlier, the new names actually saved this tournament from looking like a bloodbath tournament.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, it could have gotten away with looking like a bloodbath tournament. Like, if you're thinking about it, it is a renewal.
Yeah.
It could have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What failure shocked you the most? Not including your own. You can't say yourself.
No, I'm not. I saw this question. I was going to pick Smokey actually on the hole in the wall, but I've spoken so much about the hole in the wall just now. I'm actually going to go with Matt and Petrillo because they ended up both being the worst runs on stage 2. Which, if you look at those 10 names, I wouldn't have picked that.
Oh, absolutely not.
I think did Disappoint fail that obstacle as well, but he failed later. The second
later, yeah.
Later
in the,
so there are 3 fails on that obstacle. One on the 4th obstacle, and then obviously Halo Fence fail. I don't think. I think like stage 1, that stage 2 on paper wasn't extremely difficult. I think I find that 4th obstacle with the corner jumps, I actually find it quite tough. I think I said if I'd got to it, I probably would have failed that obstacle. But the first and second obstacle isn't the hardest thing in the world. The metal spin is tough because of the time limit, and obviously the last obstacle is just you need to have the time to get up to the top. But the 3rd and 4th obstacle were the real standout ones, because this could take people out. I just didn't expect 7 clears out of 8, or 7 of the first 8 runners to clear it, and then the last 2 runners on stage 2 to fail it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what surprised me.
That's a fair take. I mean, Matt's fail got by far the most reaction out of me in the whole tournament. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Even when Fireball failed at the end, I was screaming at Matt. Yeah. Whose success shocked you the most? I think that my answer is MMO.
Yeah, I think we kind of touched on it with the 3.
We did kind of touch on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Since we've already mentioned them...
No, I actually have a better answer. It wasn't the best result, but disappoint.
Okay.
That's my answer. You want to know why it's my answer?
Because he didn't disappoint?
Because I didn't know disappoint existed before I did it.
You must have... I was going to say...
I didn't know he existed.
There must have been, surely there must have been a premiere at some point before you hosted before he showed up to do his run, where you've seen disappoint in the YouTube chat or something.
I think so.
I feel like there must have been.
Maybe,
I'm not sure. There must. Maybe, yeah. So I knew disappointment.
I just get a DM on Discord hey, can I do a run? I'm like, sure, whatever. And he just goes and
he shows up and clears.
He literally shit on my stage 1.
Yeah,
that's not a joke. He shit on.
He had the second fastest clear time, didn't he? Or did he have the fastest?
Yeah.
No,
Joey had one of the fastest.
Yeah,
Joey had the fastest. One of the fastest.
Who had the fastest clear time on stage 2? Someone had 14 seconds or something.
Eternal Flame by a long shot. Yeah. I know. Joey had one of the slowest clear times. which is rare. Because I think it was Jake and then Joey and then MMO and Fireball and Eternal. Yeah. It might be in the wrong order, but
yeah. Anyone who's just so we're obviously filming this the day after Irish has just premiered his second Infinite tournament, and anyone that's watched that will have seen Disappoint clear stage 1 on that course. So he's already had a taste of success. I'm not sure if he might, although yeah, actually thinking about it, I want to say in the stage 2 interview on Irish's course he said this was his first stage 1 clear. So obviously. He did the Irish run before he did your course.
Oh, of course. I'm not shocked.
But
what I am not shocked about is me.
I was going to say he's getting a taste of that success.
That name. I didn't know who he was.
No.
And I messaged Irish. I was like, "Do you know who this Disappoint kid is?" And he was like, "He ran my course, man. He did pretty all right."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay."
He's getting a bit of success now. Yeah, he's someone that I don't think... I'm not actually sure if I've been in a party... Maybe once, possibly, been in an Xbox party with him. I don't think I've been in a party with him when he's ran a course yet. So, fair play to him. He's getting some success. He's had 2 clears now, pretty close to each other. My pick, I suppose I probably would have picked MMO, but because we've already talked about him and Jake and Eternal Flame, I'm going to go with Halo Fan because I'm pretty sure this was by far and away Halo Fan's best run or best result on any course so far.
Oh, of course.
For him to get that close.
I think I predicted his clear, but because I thought he could do it, beat stage 1, but
I think
he made the most of it
to get that close to stage 3. I'm sure at the time when he did the run, but also watching it back in the premiere, you're probably very disappointed, Halo Fan. But if you're hearing this, all I can say to you is keep your head up. This was a fantastic result, and it's something that you can absolutely build on for the next Halo Sasuke tournament and for other courses as well. That you can get to stage 3.
We've noticed. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I see you.
So I'll go with Halo Fan. But if we hadn't, apart from them, I probably would have picked MMO or Jake.
So the next question says, some question in the moment talking about the strides I made editing, because goddamn did I work hard on the editing this tournament for fuck's sake, and I need my stripes. The question I'm going to ask is not that.
No.
I'm going to ask what pet peeves you had with the editing and what I could improve. It's just something like that, because honestly, I need to get better. I always need to get better.
No one's perfect. Literally, Smokey's probably the nearest thing that any host has got to having a perfect.
No, he's the goal.
Yeah, but even Smokey himself would probably say he's not perfect. I still feel like people rate me as having the best commentary, so that's in a way something that Smokey's can improve on. But obviously, Smokey's commentary is pretty darn solid already.
Yeah, no, he's great.
No course and no host has probably ever hit perfection in a tournament
but we
or
can
an
strive
episode.
For it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Editing wise, I really liked the tournament actually. I think the little edit at the beginning of the preview or whatever it was, the teaser trailer, something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if maybe the music and the edits, cutting from one run to another, synced up perfectly with the music. But that is the most extreme pet peeve I could give you. That's just being extremely too nitpicky. I think editing wise, it synced up pretty well. That's one of the things I always loved about Sonic's tournaments is that every intro he had, he managed to sync up the music to a cut or a change of camera to a different shot. He managed to sync those up perfectly almost every time, and so that's why I always credit Sonic with having amazing editing in his tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Rare praise for Sonic Fan from me. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I really do have any pet peeves, to be honest. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is that the stage ones were so, or like the all three stages were so short that we didn't really get a chance to hear a lot of the music because either someone would fail or someone would clear so quickly that like you didn't really get to hear much of the soundtrack to this tournament. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally all I can think of.
Dude, the soundtrack in this tournament is fucking huge. First off,
you know what?
you cannot watch the video in certain countries.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but one of them
like
is Russia,
Sudan
isn't
or
it?
something
So,
like
like,
that.
fuck that.
Russia, something like that.
Sorry, Big Bang. Fuck you.
I'm not hurt by it.
Big Bang.
I'm honestly not hurt by it.
You know what? Sorry, I have found one pet peeve, and it was at the very end, playing that piece of shit CeeLo Green song. I don't like that song.
No, stop. That song's awesome, bro.
I don't like that song.
What? No.
I'm not a fan of that song.
Quit it. That song's iconic. So you've been driving.
No, God, I'm leaving. Alright, moving on. Next question.
Fuck you. Oh, sorry. Next question. Next question. Favorite part of a video? Not necessarily a run, but just like what'd you?
Stage one
part you like?
was probably the most fun, but like that's probably very broad because that was like half the video.
Yeah, that's kind of like a vast percentage. I think it's like 38 minutes of the video, and it's an hour and 12.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think what I'd say, which one I'd pick. Why don't you pick something first, and then I'll see if I can think of something.
I love the trailer. I think coming out of it, it was like a small percentage of a video, but I love that editing so much. Obviously, I'm gonna be a little bit biased because like I thought I made a really cool editing project.
I'll tell you one thing you could use for the trailer. I know you don't really do any of the racing anymore, and you certainly don't care for Mr. Luke. But
oh my god, I hate that guy.
The first attempt we did at a race on Infinite, we did a track that's like a remake of an old track from other Halo games. But because Infinite has such a bigger budget now, and we've obviously, not we, like the two of us, but like other jumpers or hosts have talked in the past about making like this expansive city as a forge map for putting our courses on. I know Smokey had like big ideas in his head of what he wanted to do with his course. One of the things we did with this first track we raced on ever on Halo Infinite was that we had the track itself like normal. Then we had the little like spawn area, which was like the pit boxes and like all that sort of stuff. But then he added all this extra shit where it was like a driver's campus. Like, so if someone drove into the track, like a real life track, they'd park up. There's a hot dog stand. There's like radio towers and like commentary booths and things like that. There's like a garage to repair your cars and stuff like that. And then he also forged this giant long highway as like if you were just driving here, like you driven like a 500-mile trip to get to this racetrack for the weekend, and you get to the final stretch on the highway. It's like, oh, there's the entrance into the racetrack. Take a right here, and then follow it through the forest, and then you're in the racetrack. So, watching your trailer and watching this warhog drive on this barren, empty block towards the course, it did make me think, oh, I wish I'd shown you this map, so you could have like edited in a little thing of you like driving on this highway, like you were driving through a forest to get to the course.
Yeah.
And then cut to you on the block with nothing on it, and then on this long road.
You want to know what I initially had planned with the road? It was going to be a longer scene.
Yeah.
And it was going to be me talking to a, in quotes, manager or producer.
I'm going for an app style.
There would have been slight talking shit.
You could have hired Swan as the manager. What the fuck happened here, Chumpy?
But I didn't do that.
No.
Because I love and respect all of my fellow members of the community, and I don't beef.
Okay, I've thought of something. My favorite part of the tournament was the lottery run order. So even though I binned you for giving me number 7,
Yeah.
I do enjoy a lottery tournament when they come round on any course. Um, I can't remember which. I don't know if it was Smokey's. I feel like I think maybe it was Smokey's course. There was a little bit of a not an argument, but like a little bit of like a Discord conversation going on. It's like, oh, how can you put like this guy at such a low number? Oh, this guy had a great tournament last year. Blah 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 blah. Oh, how is Irish number 100? Blah blah blah. And I think I responded to it with like, in my opinion, the perfect response I could have given, which was, if you don't like it, don't worry, because
Don't
next
run.
tournament it's all going to go back to normal. So who cares? Um,
Yeah.
and second of all, which is exactly what I'm going to say here, because it's the reason why I picked it as my favourite thing. The second reason is that lotteries provide a fun little mix-up that you don't normally get to see. You know, um,
I did it because I realized it was going to be a new era, a new game. Let's keep adding to the chaos. That was my exact mindset.
I mean, just looking at like the last 10 runners of your course here, um, people that could probably make a legitimate case for being in a normal last 10 without a lottery. It's probably five
Yeah.
names on this list: Fireball, Tricky, Petrillo, Matt.
Tricky, Matt, and Pedro were.
They were gonna, they were the
lottery,
last
though.
three by
They were
default.
gonna be there
Yeah,
either way.
yeah, exactly. So five names there, and then the other five names: Snars, Paddy, Pacific Champ, Booker, and Go Tanks. Um, yeah, I mean, I apart from Pacific Champ, I found it like pretty darn cool, seeing Snars that high up in a run order, compared to most of the rest of the competition. Like
Right.
Snars being above me and Smokey. Would have been funny if he'd been above Go Tanks as well. Actually, to be fair. Go Tanks at
Yeah.
number 47, the highest number you could have gotten in the lottery, and
He won the lottery,
and
man.
it went
He
to
won
a
the
guy like
lottery.
Go Tanks, which is, I don't think anyone should complain about that. Um,
Yeah, no, I love Goat.
One-
Goatings is such a great.
one of my
He's a-
favorite, one of my own personal favorite Niwa tournaments is 17, purely for the mixed up run order from the lottery. Well, not the lottery. Mine was a trials course, but it was essentially
I
like a
have.
lottery.
Yeah, I remember doing that trials course. Holy shit.
You did pretty well. You got number 68, so you must have done pretty well in the trials course. Um,
Yeah, man, dude, I'm like the best Ewok competitor.
it gives an opportunity at the end of the day. Lottery tournament. I know I keep saying lottery. Obviously, mine was a trials course, so there was a bit of if you turned up and actually tried to do decent in the trials course, then you were going to get a higher number. Um,
hmm
but yeah, lottery tournaments just give the opportunity for the host to mix up the field and sort of have a little bit more fun. Don't get me wrong,
hmm
if you're running a 100 competitor tournament, it could maybe cause a few problems because it's like, oh shit, this guy's running really low and he's right in the middle of all these randos that I wanted to fast forward. Like, shit, what do I do now? And like, so maybe it could cause the occasional issue like that, but like, I like the tournaments where what I just said. Atlantic was number 68, and that was one of the higher numbers, and he was just at the time a rando newcomer. There was a like Chris was like a newcomer in my tournament 17, and he was like number 95. Um,
Yeah.
like Snars turned up. Snars was fucking great at the trials course. He bossed the trials course. He was 94. That was great. I love that Snars was like one of the highest numbers in that tournament, and it's still so funny.
Do I give you a chumpy insider secret
Go for it.
on the podcast?
Yeah, go for it.
So for 18, I've been designing it. I'm not showing it to anybody. I've been designing a trials course for 18, and the way I'm gonna be doing it is, if you fail a certain spot on the course, not by how well you do, but a certain obstacle, will give you a range of numbers you could be, and then it's a lottery from where you fail. Idea
So
I had in mind.
if you get far enough in the course, it's sort of like based on furthest,
The
fastest.
numbers get better the farther you go,
Oh, I
but that
see what you
doesn't
mean.
mean you're getting a great number. Yeah.
So it's a bit like, so
Like,
it's a combination of the trials course and using Smokey's system.
kinda,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the thing you got to
So
give
I'm
props
gonna
about.
assign.
Sorry, go on.
So like the probability of you getting a better number, uh, is better the farther you go,
Mhm.
but uh, you could still get far and get given a low number.
Hmm.
That's the idea of it. So it kind of adds to the chaos factor while at the same point rewarding those who do well in a trials course.
That's the one thing about because Smokies is a lottery, but it's still it's different to a normal lottery that we've seen on other courses in the past. But it also like
Right.
he's clearly
It's not straight up lottery.
it's not a straight up lottery. Like he has an actual. Oh yeah, actually that's the thing. It's only really a lottery for the best competitors. It's not like a lottery for all 100 competitors. Um,
Yeah.
and he clearly had a
I
system.
got freaking 98 again. He has
Yeah.
the stream up. I
Um,
can't believe that.
I don't know if this is sort of a spoiler. Here's a podcast spoiler. I think it's been confirmed. It might have been confirmed at this point that Swan, who got 97 in this lottery, will not be showing up. So he's had to find someone that wasn't in the lottery to fill that number because it's obviously a really high number, and apparently he's giving it to Pixel. So
Oh, that's cool. Good
that's
for
pretty
him.
cool.
I
Yeah,
like
when
Pixel.
I heard that, I thought, yeah,
Pixel could kick all of our asses at once. Have you seen him?
no, I've heard he's
He
been
could
going
kick
to
all
the
of our
gym.
asses.
I haven't spoke-
He could easily kick all of
I
our
think
asses.
I think I've only spoken to Pixel maybe once in about a year, maybe probably even longer than a year, and it was oh no, actually, maybe he came in here. No, maybe it was twice actually. I think I spoke the second time I spoke to him. I think it was when he was running Irish's course a couple of tournaments ago, not the one that just happened. I think the first time I spoke to him this year was when he was wondering if there were courses going on Infinite, and I was like, yeah, if you got Infinite on PC or something, people are starting to run courses, and he was like, yeah, get on it. And I was like, yeah. Um, but yeah, no. So what I was going to say was that I think Smuggy had like a genuine system, like scientific mathematics system, to make sure that it all made sense and it wouldn't screw up in any way. Whereas obviously a lot of lotteries, it's just like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So yeah,
Because the other reason why I wanted to design a trials slash qualifying course is because I might need a qualifying course for 18. I don't think I'll need it for this one. But the names I've been reserving, I just kind of assume that it'll keep, advancing up a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Because there were names that, like, I just straight up missed and couldn't get, like, are Saints of the world,
You know,
or
actually, yeah.
Valons of the world.
Going slightly off topic, we've been talking quite a lot about this favorite part of the video, but actually just slightly going off topic. Looking at the names, since I've got Irish's spreadsheet open, Cobra, Swan, obviously,
Cobra didn't run.
Puma, but we've obviously discussed that obviously previously.
I just reserved Robotic Pie a spot.
Z-Master, I'm just going through some
Z.
random names. Chris, but I think looking at this, it looks like the last time Chris ran an Atlantic course was quite a while ago, tournament 11, according to Irish's spreadsheet.
Sounds about right.
But apparently Big Fang once ran the course. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Soul didn't run, and I feel like I might have actually picked Soul as one of my clears because he did good in a couple of other tournaments.
Soul did not do a run,
Yeah, didn't run. Cheese did run, which was pretty cool.
Cheese ran. Blockmaster ran, which kind of...
Yeah, was that a bit of a surprise? Yeah, actually, whilst I'm still going through this list, any, like, surprising names other than Mighty Max that you got to run that you maybe didn't think were going to run?
Let me look quick. Sonic, I think, is the name. I didn't think I was gonna get him on. I did. Obviously, it's easier for me because me and Sonic are good buddies, I guess. But it's easier for me than other people. But he's kind of the person who shocked me the most with showing up. And we did that run at 1:30 in the morning.
Don't think there's. I'm going through this whole list, and I don't think there's anyone. Don't think. Oh, okay, there isn't really anyone else. I'll tell you one thing I have just noticed.
Oh wait, can I say as my answer?
I was wondering if you were going to say this was from 16, and according to this, assuming that Irish's spreadsheet is accurate, you've managed to get Demi to turn up to 15 of your 16 tournaments.
Sounds about right, honestly. He started jumping, like, on other people's courses around the time I started, yeah.
15 appearances. And
Which one did he miss?
Tournament 2, I think, according to this.
That sounds right.
Where is I just had it? Yeah, tournament 2. I'm now looking at this spreadsheet to see who else. Because I know I'm the only person that's got a perfect 16 for 16 on this course.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese has got 15. So now I'm looking at like the all-time list of like who's your like all-time attendance people, and it's crazy to me that Cheese and Demi are like tied for second place on this list.
Yeah.
Who else has got 15? Fireball.
Straight.
Flame. Smokey.
Oh, here's another name that used to compete a lot that I didn't get. Drew.
Yeah, I did scroll past Drew actually. To be fair, I didn't mention him. Rip. According to this, there's 5 people. So I'm 16 for 16, perfect attendance. There's 5 people, according to Irish's spreadsheet, that have only ever missed one tournament. Cheese, Demi, Smokey, Flame, and Fireball, according to this. Strafe is on 14 appearances. He missed 2 tournaments, 12 and 13, according to this. According to Irish's spreadsheet, he came in first place in tournament 11 and then didn't show up for 12 and 13.
Oh, really?
Assuming Irish's spreadsheet is accurate.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Strafe.
Sorry. Strafe. Oh, did he miss 13?
According to this, yeah.
That makes sense, actually, because I ran that in like a weekend.
The one tournament Smokey missed was tournament 4, the one tournament Flame missed was tournament 5, and the one tournament that Fireball missed was tournament 3. I'm very proud of my perfect attendance and especially I have a thing for it. The only 2 things I seem to have going for me on jumping anymore is always trying to be consistent on stage 1 and having a perfect attendance on courses.
Yeah.
And it's all the sweeter when I'm the only person to have a perfect attendance on the course.
Yeah, I know. People like to skip the old Halo Sasuke every so often.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that pretty much covers the favorite. The favorites question.
The last question is kind of supposed to lean into the Tournament 17 talk, since we've been at this for over an hour. Which run from Tournament 16, like which successful run do you see carrying into Tournament 17?
Apart from the obvious people, Fireball and Joey, who I just expect to, like how they've done on Irish's Infinite tournaments so far, just continue to be successful. Although Joey actually did have that shocker in one of Irish's tournaments.
Yeah.
Other people who had success in this tournament, MMO, I think, if all he did was replicate what he did in stages 1 and 2 in this next tournament, then I think certainly we'd consider that. He could consider that another success, because that's the thing of what we said earlier about MMO, is that it's all about building that early success in your jumping career to sort of get you some. I can't believe I'm about to use this phrase that Swan loved to use, to get you some jump clout.
It's a fun phrase.
Yeah. If you can, the best way to do that is to either have early success or continue to be successful as early into your career as you can. Get yourself on the map. I feel like he's the best candidate. Maybe Eternal Flame could do it. I think with the others, with Jake, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how much of it was maybe like him putting the practice in, and then maybe also him getting that little bit of luck that he needed to finally get to a stage 3. So it's hard to tell if Jake got to stage 3 again in 17 back to back, then you definitely maybe say Jake's turning a corner. Halo fan, again, I'm gutted for him, and I would absolutely hope that performance was not like the pinnacle or like the ceiling for him. It's difficult to say. I would go with my most obvious pick would be MMO, simply on the basis that he got the furthest out of the new faces.
Right.
But one other thing I would say is this is all perfect motivation for Mr. Shadowrun, which we picked up in the last podcast to show up and step up.
Oh my god. He had controller issues. You can't entirely blame him.
Oh yeah, so no, this isn't a blame game. But I'm sure, Shadow, if you're watching this, you will have watched the tournament and you have seen how all these new faces, how well they did. That could have been you as well. So get a new controller, show up for tournament 17, and that could be you. You could be the MMO or the Eternal Flame in the next tournament.
I agree. Let's move into some predictions. I think it's that time.
Right. Okay.
First things first, I'm going to be going into Discord because I only made the prompt for the predictions game on the Discord for some fucking reason.
So for the viewers who do not know, stage 1 is pretty darn similar.
I've been jumping on it this whole podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Hopefully you've been showing off all 3 stages then.
Yeah.
Um.
All right. Yeah, I've been kind of going back and forth. You want to just move straight into the predictions game format?
Yeah. I'm looking at the the list of obstacle names and just thinking about it. 50 runners. The third obstacle is now the first obstacle. How many of them do I think?
The second obstacle is now the third obstacle. The first obstacle is now the second obstacle. I did a little bit of shuffling.
But leads into it, so there's no platform between them. So
there are no stoppers through the first 4 obstacles.
Yeah. Which certainly saves on budget.
Yep. For sure. And time.
Big thing for me is how much... the ascending balls no longer has the grapple hook now, does it? It goes straight from the balls to the third obstacle. Is that right? Or
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, because not many randos really got to do the third obstacle. So how rando proof is this obstacle is what is in my mind right now. I'm gonna go with 8 fails on the first obstacle.
8.
I'm gonna go with I probably should ask this since we just talked about no rest platforms. If you finish an obstacle and are jumping to the next obstacle, so let's say whether you're going from the first obstacle to the balls, or from the balls to the pipes, or the pipes to the pillars.
I'm gonna call it the next obstacle.
I was gonna say if you
make
tap
contact,
yeah.
If you make contact with the next obstacle, that's where you fail.
Okay, that helps a little bit. I was gonna say if all you gotta do is tap it, and it counts as the next obstacle. I'm
gonna go 12 on the bar runner.
You're going 12 on the bar, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3 on the balls, and I feel like 3 is too many, but I'll go with 3.
I'm gonna go with 2. So
How many people failed?
You're at
How many people?
you're at
Do
39.
you know how
I
many
am
people failed the
at
pipe shifter?
in the last tournament.
Yeah.
It was like close to 11 or 12.
I feel like it could be that again.
You're at 39. I am at 36.
I'll go with 10 fails on the pipe shifter.
10. I'm gonna go also with 10. So you're at 29. I'm at 26.
I'm going to say 4 fails on the ascending pillars, and I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 of them are getting onto the damn thing.
Okay. So 4, you're at 25. I'm gonna say 2. So I'll be at math.
24.
Got it. 24. Yep. Jumping spider.
Still the same?
I'm gonna go. Yep, still the same. I think I'm gonna go with 5 here. So I'll be
I'm
left with 19.
gonna go with. I'm trying to think how many failed in the last tournament.
It was like
There's a
8.
few names. I was gonna say I'm gonna go 6.
6. So that puts you at 19 as well. So we're even. Going into the triple hole in the wall.
Triple hole in the wall,
And
there was like
I'm
10 fails on it, wasn't there, in the last tournament?
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
I think
I don't think it'll do as much damage because of experience. I'm gonna go with 7.
I think it was 6 again.
6 again.
And then, what's the time limit, by the way?
55 still.
Still 50. Ooh, okay.
It's a bit tougher. Maybe by like 5 seconds.
13.
I'm gonna
do
go
I
with
think?
1 timeout.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna go with 13 clears, but better to be safe than sorry if there was a timeout. So I'll go with 1 timeout as well.
So you got 12 clears. I have 11.
And now I've got to think of some names.
Who are your clears?
Joey. You can put Joey, Fireball, me, and Smokey on the list right away. I've bigged him up so much that I kind of can't not put MMO on the list. So MMO. Eternal Flame. Strafe.
6, you're halfway.
Strafe.
Strafe.
You know what? I need to get up the list of competitors again. Let's go with Rish. I'll go with Irish.
Yo. Okay.
Who got to the triple hole in the wall that maybe was a surprise, apart from Dossus? Oh my god, Junstau? I forgot Junstau failed the first obstacle.
Yeah.
Definitely not Caden. Oh god, no, I'm not gonna go with Paddy. Petrillo, Tricky. Taking a chance here. I'm not gonna put Matt.
Oh, Tricky won't be competing.
Tricky's not competing. Oh yes, you're right. Sorry, not Tricky. So I've still got 3 spots. Okay, not Tricky. I'm taking a chance here. I'm not gonna put Matt and Nom down simply because I can never trust that they're gonna show up.
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing with Paddy. I'm not going to go with Paddy because you can't trust for certain if he'll show up. Plus, I haven't actually got that many new names. I don't think I've put anyone down yet that hasn't cleared stage 1, like ever yet. And surely someone will. I'm not going to have 12. I'm not going to have 12 clears, and they've all cleared stage 1 before. I can't put Dossus. No, I can't do it. I can't believe Jim
I know
Stuff.
somebody who I think you're missing.
Rog?
That wasn't who I was thinking.
Who are you
but
thinking of?
Could. Do you want me to say,
Yeah,
or do
go
you want
for
me
it.
to taint your
Yeah,
predictions?
go.
Halo fan?
Yeah, you said I probably was going to end up with Halo fan. I'm still thinking of. New names. Yeah, let's take Halo fan on there. I have a bad feeling that Jake is going to have a shock fail. Um,
It'd be his first time since 11.
mm. I've got two
That'd be
spots
pretty
left.
wicked.
I've got two spots. You know what? Let's throw Rog on there, and then the last person will be a new face, or has never cleared stage 1 before, and that person is uh, Glow Combs. Let's go with Glow Combs.
Okay.
Could be
My
miles off.
list.
Could be miles off her.
I'm actually gonna make a bit of a change to my failures. So I'm gonna take 2 off the bar runner. So it'll be 10 fails. And I'm going to say there were 13 clears.
Mm-hmm.
And those 13 are Joseph, Fireball. I'm gonna go with MMO, Smokey, Hunter. Better not fuck it up this time, you bastard. I'm gonna go with Eternal Flame, Disappoint.
I didn't say disappoint too, but
The perks in hosting, I guess. So that's 7. I'm gonna go with. God, if I can get Matt to run, it'll probably clear. Yeah, fuck it. I'll go with Matt. I'm gonna say Petrillo shock fails. He'll compete, but he'll fail. Gotta look at my list now. Christ. Of tournament 17 competitors. I also think that Jake's gonna fall. I think he will. This sucks. I hate this. I'm gonna go Halo fan. So I am at 9. I need 4 more. I'm gonna go Irish. Dosis. I'm gonna bite on that.
you're going
prediction.
for Dosis.
I'm gonna bite. So I need 2 more. And those 2 people will be. I think I'm kind of confident that I can get Ump.
Has missed. It looks like he's going to miss Irish.
I want to pick a complete out the blue.
Mm.
Like a just complete out the blue clear.
Mm.
The wild blue.
Yeah.
He doesn't compete ever, does he? Shit.
Who's that?
I was thinking about Sunnyside.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about. Yeah. We didn't even mention Sunny. I don't think. I also we went through that list of people that didn't show up, and I didn't even think about Cobra or Soul.
They don't show up, which is why I'm not confident in picking them.
Mm. I feel like if Cobra showed up, maybe it could be interesting.
Cobra would clear if he showed up. Yeah. I'm gonna go with my last out of a blue. Would it be out of a blue? I'm gonna write down Sonic fan. He'll run my course. So I think those are my names. 13 of them. It's 5. 11. Yep, cool. Those are my names. It's quite an interesting cast, I'm not gonna lie.
But this
I like
tournament
it.
was a very interesting cast, and as I said, comparing it to the other tournaments, I friggin' loved it.
I'm all for it.
Speaking of MMO, he's putting something in the Halo Sasuke chat, so I'm guessing it's his predictions.
Yep.
Um,
Alright, you have,
Stage 2, exactly the same. Time limit.
Yep. Exactly the same except the third obstacle. Not the time limit, though. I think I added 5 to that.
So 5 extra, and the third obstacle's different?
Yeah, it's the drill site.
What's the drill? Is that a brand new obstacle?
Brand new obstacle. Brand spanking new.
Could you describe it to me?
So basically, it's these cones that are like. So basically, you have to jump on a ledge that's on a cone, and you have to go around the cone to another small ledge.
This is where I wish I could see the stream, so I could look at you doing the course. You know what? I'm gonna get an infinite quickly.
Okay, I'll do mine while you do that.
Yeah. Send me an infinite,
So on
then I'll have a look at it.
stage 2, I have 13 into the cross slider, and I'm gonna go with 1, which is Dosis. So that would take him off. And I'd have 12 onto the mini bamboo forest, which I'm gonna go with no one. That's the drill site, the new drill site. And I'm gonna say this is what wipes up Irish, Sonic, I'm not gonna go with Disappoint. I'm gonna go with Matt. Fuck it. I'll go for 2. So there's 4. Still here?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just waiting for infinite to load up.
Yeah, okay. On Crazy Clocks, I have Joey, Fireball, MMO, Smokey, Hunter, Eternal, Disappoint, and that is it. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with 1. I'm gonna say that it's you.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair prediction.
Yeah.
Then we got the metal spin. I'm gonna say that there's 1 on the metal spin. I'm gonna say that disappoints.
One obstacle further.
Yeah. No, 2 obstacles further.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, I
yeah.
guess he beats 1 more, but no. He would attempt 2 more obstacles, yeah.
No, sorry, he was the one who failed
then,
the third obstacle last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'd have Joey, Fireball, MMO, Smokey, and Eternal. I'm going to say there's 0 time-ups, which means I'd have, once again, 5 clears on stage 2. Those being Joey, Fireball, MMO, Smokey, and Eternal Flame. Oh, wait, no, it's 6. And Halo Fan.
Hey!
I'm a bite on Halo Fan. He's my big prediction.
This is really bad. I should have written down. Can you give me my names again? Because I've said them all and I've now forgotten half of them.
Okay. Joey.
Yep.
Fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself.
Yep.
Smokey.
Yep.
MMO.
Yep.
Eternal.
Yep.
Strafe.
Uh-huh.
Irish.
Yep.
Petrillo.
Petrillo.
Halo fan,
Yep.
Rog,
Yep.
and Glow Combs.
Glow Combs, that was it.
Yeah.
Right, okay. No one on the first obstacle. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I need that invite so I can see this.
Oh yeah. Shit. No one on the first obstacle. Alright, Bamboo Forest, you're still 12?
Looking at these 12 names. Nah, I can't see it. I'd say none again on the second obstacle.
Okay. The drill site,
Uh,
you're gotta be here.
yep.
Where is
So
he?
let's quickly
Where's the
talk
mouse?
about. Do you think this? Are you confident that you'll see more success in the next tournament across the board?
Across the board, I'd say so. I put down that I'd have a few more stage 1 clears and exactly one more stage 2 clear.
Yeah.
So, I'd say so.
I can't remember what. I mean, I know I was in first place for the predictions in 16.
Yeah, but you don't know how, because all of them sucked.
Yeah,
If
but
we're
it
being
was more so,
honest.
but yeah, I was doing it on the basis that like I certainly predicted more than 10 clears, um, so
Hmm.
I guess yeah, it was a case of mine was okay. Gotta love when the game you gotta love when you land on a safe platform and the game kills you. Gotta love lag.
Mhm.
Okay, so looking at this third obstacle, what the hell? So you
It,
got almost like corner jump? Is it round the?
you can go up to the top like a curtain
Uh,
cling, or you could go around it, yeah.
I'm guessing it's a lot safer to go over the top. Um,
Uh, to each their own.
can you stand on it? I was gonna say this looks like so steep that
You
you
can
can't.
stand on the top, yeah.
No, I mean like you can't stand on the sides. Like the
No,
cones
it's like a bunch of curtain cling.
yeah. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like I need to
I'd
try
say
it.
it's about the same difficulty as the whatchamacallit, the what was their last tournament, but it's a lot more I guess reasonable.
I don't know if this platform
It's
is
not
just like
cruel.
so
It's
close
not
to.
cruel and unusual
I
punishment.
don't know if the landing platform at the end of the first obstacle on stage 2 is like just close enough to the ground that it can occasionally kill you, or if it is literally just for lag.
I think that happens very rarely. Alright, I'll give you a quick demo.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's not that bad. I was looking at it in Machinima and I thought like it looked oh shit. I was
It's
looking at
kind
it.
of hard.
I was looking at it in Machinima and it looked really high, like from the little sticky out
Mhm.
platform. If you wanted to hop up to the
Yeah.
top of the cone. Um, okay,
Right.
I'm going to say Petrillo, Halo fan, Irish, and Rog are going to fail that obstacle.
So 4.
Or yeah,
All right, you got 8 on the crazy clocks.
me and Glowcombs.
That's 2. And Melspin.
I feel like someone. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with Eternal Flame. I was torn between him and Strafe.
Who's the type to rush it?
Eternal Flame, and then the other 5, I'm gonna say will clear.
Okay. So you got 5 left. I got 6 left. You need the names again, or you good?
I got the names.
I'll just let you close the gap.
Okay, none on the first obstacle. None on the
Mhm.
second.
Have you seen it?
Is it? Oh, is it still the same, by the way?
No, it's the flying shelf grab.
Oh, hold on then. I'm currently bossing stage 1. Fuck this jumping spider. Fuck the hole in the wall. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm just gonna
It
clear.
all sucks. Here, I'm gonna be there in a second and give you a demo. Into the Bald Podcast, where predictions get scuffed by not knowing the course.
Right. Oh, hello.
So what you want to do is you want to climb up here so you can get the height to jump onto it, and then you get on, and then it's just corner jumps.
Oh my god.
Sweaty corner jumps.
My machinima just went insane. Gonna watch it. Damn, they look hard. They do look a little tough.
They're pretty tough, yeah.
Okay.
But if you get technique, honestly, you're pretty okay.
Change my mind. Oh mate. Would that count as? I assume that would count as a discount mirror's edge fail.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh mate, this machinima shit. Okay. Okay, none on the first obstacle. I definitely now think someone on the second obstacle. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go for a really out there one. I'm gonna say Smokey.
That is pretty damn out there. Okay, you got 4 more on the discount.
Strafe.
3 more on the ultimate cliffhanger.
MMO fails the cliffhanger.
Pig Cloud, you got 2.
I'm gonna say none.
Is this the same last 2? It's the same last 3.
I'm being very unpredictable. I'm being very safe.
Yep, Planet Bridge.
I'm gonna say both of them. I'm gonna say neither. I'm just gonna say the Planet Bridge remains undefeated.
That's Fireball and Joey.
And I'm gonna say Joey will get first place again.
Gotcha. Alright, now my turn. Mine's going to be going a little bit different than yours, if I'm being completely forward. Say nobody on the swing edge. Actually, just as a reminder real quick, the names that I have are Joey, Fireball, MMO, Smokey, Eternal Flame, and a Halo fan. Now for the flying shelf grab, I'm going to go with 1. I'm go with Halo fan. This is where the old tournament ends for the bud.
Okay, you know what? I actually
discount Mirror's Edge. I'm also gonna go with 1, and it'll be Eternal. I'm gonna say he goes out there again. I'm gonna say that everybody gets through the ultimate cliffhanger this time. No one there. I think that Smokey is too good of a competitor for it. I think that the other 2 guys have already beaten it, and I think that MMO will learn. Pig Cloud, I'm gonna go with 1. I'm gonna say Smokey. So just so we're on the same page, that is Fireball, Joey, and MMO onto the Planet Bridge. I'm gonna go with 2. And it'll be MMO and Fireball. So, and I'm gonna say Fireball gets a bit farther. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say MMO gets a bit farther. Ledge climb, nobody. Flying bar, we're going to stage 4.
Hey.
Joey will make it for his 3rd time in a row. It'll be a
Not in a row.
first Halo jumping. Not in a row, but 3rd time ever, which will be a first, I think, in Halo Sasuke. I don't think anybody's gotten there 3 times. And I'm going to say he fails an obstacle. I'm going to say he fails the 2nd obstacle.
Can't reveal what yet.
I actually kind of did, but yeah, he's going to fail the discount mirrors climb. We don't know what it looks like, but that's what it's called, and it's in a bunch of sheets. Yeah, he'll fail that. That's my predictions, and that's Hunter's predictions. Hooray!
We got there. We got there.
We got there. I do want to see a final. And the main basis for me wanting to see a final is this. I think that we all agree that the last tournament was kind of on the craziness scale, in the pretty crazy range, on the basis of the people doing well were who they were. And I expect that to happen again, so I kind of want the craziness to be for a different reason, and who would expect a stage 4?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be the first Halo Infinite stage 4, actually?
Yeah, I believe so. Unless there's a big ass secret that everyone's been keeping from
It's being kept from all of us, yeah. But yeah, I think that the way you kind of like step forward from the last tournament is with something cool like that. So I think that's how I want that to go.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting thing, is that with so many courses, which obviously we didn't really, we've never had a Halo game like this before, where we've gone into it with like so many different courses sort of jostling for that first standout moment. Well, standout moment being which course will get the first final stage on it. It's very interesting, actually, that which course will show us the first final stage on Halo Infinite.
I think it'll be, at this rate, either me or Irish.
You watched Irish's premiere, obviously, yesterday, didn't you?
I did.
Oh my god, Fireball, dude. That should have been him. This whole final stage conversation shouldn't even be happening.
I know. So close. I actually was in the party for that run. I watched as everybody goes, no! No! I'm like, God damn. No, Fireball is just a freaking, he's a beast.
We mentioned it near the start of the podcast.
This is a program, let's be real.
At the start of near the start of the podcast, like, so many people these days are just like hard on the practice train to get the success. Myself included, I certainly don't go into any course without putting in enough practice for me to think I could clear. So they're not winging any courses. But Fireball just like puts in the absolute most minimum amount of practice you could put in for a course, and still is producing these results.
No, for sure.
Just crazy. Crazy.
Right, yeah. I think that it is a good time
Stop.
to wrap this bad boy up.
So, Tournament 17, when does it start, Atlantic?
It starts this Saturday, in a week from now.
The 24th, ladies and gentlemen.
Carries on for 2 more weeks. What else happens? I'm trying to think of anything else that's important. The maps are on my file share. Practice, I guess. I don't know. I don't got much to say. I don't have many words. I wish everybody the best of luck. These predictions are just our opinions.
They're literally
I
just
root
a flip
for
of
everybody.
There's a flip of a coin.
Except for I root for everybody except for Hunter Unit.
Bitch.
I don't root for him because he's British. And, and he, doesn't host tournaments anymore, and that let me down, I'm joking. I'm joking.
The next podcast we're looking to host will be this. It's already been in the Discord. I've already highlighted. We've got this Marvel movies idea. If anyone watching this has actually remotely watched a Marvel movie, please contribute to the list, because at the minute we're going to have our lists. So we're looking to have 4 people in this podcast. We're going to have our lists and then one other list to reference. So
yeah,
I know there's some little kids out there that have watched Marvel movies. So contribute. Thank you.
Yes.
You've seen the message. Top 5 best Marvel movies you've watched. Top 5 worst Marvel movies you've watched. Give us the list. Get it in there. And then you'll get a reference on the podcast.
Hooray.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be something very different.
I think it'll be fun, yeah. It'll be a fun podcast, yeah.
Certainly get some variety of opinions, since we will have both
I love Eternals.
Matt and Vince.
It's my favorite movie.
I love For the Dark World.
I love the movie Eternals.
I love Civil War.
Angelina Jolie in it. I don't know any other of the actors.
Hey, it's got Rob Stark in it, one of Smokey's favorite characters.
Who the fuck is Rob Stark?
Oh, that's someone that's you've watched nothing. We realized this. I think it was either last week or the week before. Oh no, it was in the last podcast when Smokey was in it. You've watched nothing. You've watched Marvel, and that's it. You don't know. You've only seen a little bit of Star Wars. You've never watched Lord of the Rings. Since you don't know who Rob Stark is, it means you've never watched Game of Thrones. You've watched nothing.
I'm gonna go to my room later and just cry.
Yeah, you should. You should cry. You should cry for your parents being so uncultured towards you.
Yeah. That's right, Mom.
Anyway, we're coming up to about 2 hours, so this is a.
I think we've held on long.
I think we've covered everything.
2 hours, yeah. I'd say so.
This was good fun.
All right, bye. Actually, though, peace out, guys.
Shout out to the 10th podcast.
Go help your parents with the dishes or something. Do something nice. Do something nice for them. They work really hard for you. Anyways, bye, guys.